All right. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to our panel discussion tonight. And ironically enough, we are talking about adversity when working from home, and we were already facing some technical challenges. So I think it's a perfect topic for tonight. But I'm Laura Cross.
Yes.
With me, I have Rick and Brenda Reese from Colorado Springs area and Mariano Nandine. We are all from Surge 365, and hopefully we can get Rick's audio to work. But anyway, I know Rick has some things he wants to share with us about some adversities and what we face, some challenges we face as working from home, which we know we face them in business and in life as well. So Rick, you want to share those with us?
Yeah, I'll just go ahead and, this is what's so fun about it. Even with me right now, we're on a delay. We're having a storm right now, but we're going to push through, and that's what adversities is all about. It's about being determined, being relentless, making sure you do not give up, because things are going to happen, especially when you start your own home-based business. But what you want to do is you want to make sure you don't stop. I know a lot of times you might think the one person in your life is going to be there for you. They're going to join you and it's going to explode. And if it doesn't happen like that, you have to understand that that's okay. And what you want to do is you want to believe in yourself. You don't want to have to wait for someone to believe in you. And so that's why I like to practice the captain and the crew, the conscious and the subconscious. The conscious is your captain telling the crew, your subconscious, what to do. And so you start by writing down your affirmations, your positive affirmations. And by doing that, you will begin to realize that you can achieve, you can conceive, you can make this business work. And this is a great illustration of how no matter what happens, the camera's not working, there's a storm outside, there's a delay, but you're going to still press on. Because, see, winners never quit and quitters never win. So you want to always make sure you're pressing on, you're being determined to make things happen. And with the captain and the crew, it's a 90-day challenge. So what you want to do is you want to write down all the positive things you want. And you don't want to worry about, oh my goodness, how am I going to afford the yacht if that's on your list? Just write it down. Like one of mine is, I eat healthy all the time. Now, folks who know me know that I don't eat healthy all the time, but I am going to eat healthy all the time. So write that down, and every night you write it down. And the challenge is for 90 days to do that, but I'm determined that I'm going to do it until I see a result. And if you're writing it down at night, make one of the things on your list that I write down my challenge every night, and if you miss a night, you have to start all over again. And it's what you're doing is you're programming your subconscious mind with using your conscious mind on what you want. So understand that even though this delay is there, you're hearing what I'm saying, you're understanding what I'm saying, and the bottom line is, no matter what type of adversity comes your way, you have to push through, you have to be relentless, you have to be determined to make sure that you reach your goal. So it looks like, Rick, you're back, but you're still muted. So am I turning it over to you? Are you going to unmute yourself and take it away?
Okay,
Perfect.
fantastic. You hear me okay?
Yes, perfect. Keep going.
Okay, well, you work through adversity, and that's what it's all about. You just never stop. And when Brenda and when I left my job in 2005 and to come home to work a full-time business, and of course we were in the travel industry, adversity, challenge after challenge. So I'm going to share with you 3 personal keys that I use personally to overcome adversity and to take away that sting, even now. Number 1, moral cause. You have a why. And one of the things that for me as a moral cause, it kept me on my foundation, give me a solid foundation to build on. And you can have something that is bigger than yourself. You know, you're on a moral mission. So for me, I do have a divine destiny, and I'm always looking when adversity happens for new lessons to learn, looking for the new people that I'll meet in the midst of that adversity. And what this has done is created an environment. I pray quite a bit, like I'm praying even. So you have a habit. I listen to inspirational music, and a life worth living is a life worth documenting. And so I keep a journal, and so it keeps me focused. The second thing I like to share with you is belief. The first is moral cause. The second is belief, and the belief keeps me focused. And now this, ladies and gentlemen, is a do or die. Feed your faith, starve your feet. And so what I'm for belief, even now, today even, is daily affirmations and declarations. I'm reading the Bible, and I'm looking at motivational materials, motivational books, spiritual books. I'm listening to YouTube, ebooks. I'm watching motivational videos, and I'm board that I keep before me all the time. And I'm visualizing, I'm implementing plans, I'm taking action, and I'm tracking those results. And so the third thing I'd like to just share with you that I use to overcome adversity is focusing on others, which again is what I'm doing right now. We want to get a message out to everyone that's listening. Zig Ziglar says, help enough people get what they want, and you get everything that you want. And so helping others by helping them help others. We're always continually paying it forward spiritually, and discovering how you can best serve humanity. What is your purpose? What is your purpose? What is your gift? What are your talents? What is your contribution? And so I'm asking myself daily, even now, how can I help? How can I serve? Instead of what's in me. And so discover your purpose, your unique talents, and serve it to humanity. My particular, everything I learn, I feel like I have to share. And then giving of my time, talent, and treasure, and applying the gifts to the business. What are yours? Identify those, and we can help identify what those unique gifts, talent you can bring to the table. Nobody else in the entire world can bring it to the table. And then apply that to your business. Now, for me, as I close, this has shifted. Even what we're going through now, it doesn't even matter. We just continue to go. And so if you do the same, what moral cause, what belief holding on to and reinforcing on a daily, focus on having others orientation, and I tell you, overcome any adversity. Back to you, Laura.
Thanks, Rick. I know we broke up a little bit there, but like you said, we keep moving through. We don't have a problem with Rick and Brenda's connection, so I truly believe it's the storm that's in their area of town right now. One of my biggest things, and a lot of people don't even know this about me, Mariano and I were talking about it a little bit earlier, one of my biggest challenges was speaking in front of people. You know, those that don't know me know that, or would know that in school, you know, you've got a speech class. I'd have a 5-minute speech. I'd spit that sucker out in about a minute and a half. I'd be shaking so bad, or the room would go black. I'm surprised I didn't hit the floor. And I loved speech classes for college that I didn't have to actually give a speech, anything I could do to get away from it, you know. So that was kind of, you know, a really huge challenge for me. You know, I joined networking groups, and you had to get up even for just 30 seconds. I'd be shaking so bad by the time I got done, I couldn't even pick up silverware to eat, you know, and I do that. And by the time I changed from one networking group to another, I had to just tell myself, okay, I'm going to a new group. These people don't know me. They don't know that I don't like to get up in front of people and speak. I just have to do it. And over time, I kind of got used to it a little bit. And then I went a little bit further. Rick and Brenda, we used to do the presentations in their home in the basement. And so I'd get up there, I'd be fine doing the presentation. I'd even know when Rick would change a screen, I could just go through it and But then when someone else from another team brought someone to watch, it's like, oh, no, Rick needs to do it. I can't do that because I was afraid that if that person didn't join, they would be upset with me and not join. And then like Rick told me, you cannot say the wrong thing to the right person. So, this has taken a lot of years. I have dragged Rick around with me for over 7 years to almost every time I had a meeting with someone, just in case. The big lesson out of that is, you've heard it before, you need to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. And that is so true. If you're going to be successful in business or, put yourself out there in business, in life, you really do need to get, comfortable with being uncomfortable. And the more you do it, the easier it gets. A lot of people tell me I just worry too much about being a perfectionist. I call it pride, call it what you want. But I had to learn that it's okay to just be you and be real. It's so much easier, to connect with people. But I would say that is one of my biggest challenges I have had with being in business, for myself. Now here it is, 13 years in business, and now I'm doing like 5 lives, 5 lives a week on Facebook. Who would have thought I would have even gotten that far? But I know Mariano's got some challenges and adversities to share with us. And ironically enough, I believe it has to do with our issues we've had tonight. Mariano.
Yeah, it really does. And I'm glad that's a great segue, Laura, because, who would have thought that when, we were talking about the topic tonight about adversity, excuse me, that we would be having the technical issues that we're having tonight. Because how I was going to relay it to folks is that, whenever we do our business, there's always the presentation that we give, right? And even before the coronavirus and all that, we were using computers and DVDs and things like that to share the information that we had about the business opportunity and what it is that we had to offer, talk about the company and things like that. But, what would you do if your computer stopped working on you, or if the DVD player didn't work, or, you had to have a backup plan, right? And so the ultimate thing on having a backup plan is just having practice. And as, Laura alluded to that a little while ago about the more you do it, the easier it gets. And so, I liked also what Rick was talking about, and that is believing in yourself. Even though you've heard the phrase practice makes perfect, well, it's not so much about being perfect. It's just about, doing as best you can, just kind of like Laura was saying, being as, the best person you can be at any given moment, because you got to understand something else, right? That adversity is going to happen, whether you want it to happen or not. There's so many things that we don't control. So the only thing that you do control is yourself and how you prepare yourself for times that are going to occur, because we know that we're going to get a curveball when we least expect it. Like tonight, okay, or like Rick was talking about with this coronavirus that's going on. Who in their right mind thought about having a pandemic that was worldwide 6 weeks ago? How do you even think about stuff like that, right? And then so the bottom line though is that you just got to prepare as best you can, and you do that by believing in yourself. Whether you're using affirmations or the good book or motivational tools or whatever, it's about practice. It's about, getting ready for that day, because we know it's coming. It's just a matter of when. And, like we've been talking, the more you do it, the easier it becomes. And it's not about so much being perfect, but it's about, being the best that you can be when the opportunity presents itself. And so if I was going to wrap things up, just do a couple of things. Prepare yourself, believe in yourself, and just be the best person you can be at the moment. And everything kind of works out from there. Because I know that there's a phrase that we use in our industry, and you've heard it before, is that you can't say the wrong thing to the right person, the right thing to the wrong person. I mean, they're going to hear it however they hear it. So all you can do is share it as best as you can. And hopefully tonight, you understand that it is about preparation and just, doing as best you can at any given moment. So with that, I'll turn it back over to you, Laura. Thanks.
Yeah, very good points. And another big thing too is to not take any of it personal. It's very hard to separate when you take a lot of pride and stuff. It's really easy for people to kind of sit back, criticize, or judge. but you don't see them getting up there and trying to do it. So I have a lot of admiration and respect for those, that go forward and do it. So what if you stumble? That's the only way you're going to get better, is to keep practicing. If you go to my YouTube channel or whatever and watch, you'll see how they kind of, they progressively get better. So, that's all you can do is just practice and get through it. And when it comes to life things like that, Dakota used to tell me all the time, can you change it? No. If you can't, let it go. If you can change it, then do something about it, because it's not going to help you to just complain about it. So change what you can change. And if you can't, don't let it stress you out. Just move on, learn from it, and move on. Rick?
Life is about risks. And one of the things that I realized when I wanted to make a transition in career, that I would have to take a risk. And I knew that I would be facing some different types of adversity coming from the military and coming from corporate America and working from home. And I was willing to take those risks, and I was willing, and this is something that's important for everybody that's listening, I was willing to learn on the fly how to handle risks, so that I would be able to have, like I mentioned, belief, the moral cause, helping others. I've always wanted to help others. And so, but being able to actually apply those real time, under fire, with my wife, Brenda, saying you need to get a job, and its own form of adversity, putting the pressure on me, and knowing that in life you never advance if you're not willing to take a step. Like you say all the time, Brenda, a turtle only may be willing to do that. And so everybody that's listening, it's never going to be perfect. It will never be perfect. There will never be the right time, as we know, to have that baby. There's never the right time to move into that house, time to move and change your profession. Always, I've got to do it. And I'm telling you, and this is true, and I'll turn back over to you, Laura. Until it becomes, usually it's a should. I should do this, I should do that. But until it becomes a must, you will never, ever move. In order to change, you've got to change your address. And so if you know that going in, if you remember everything that we just talked about, Laura, in the beginning, she didn't want to do presentations. She's flawless now. She's just amazing. Mariano, military discipline over into this business, just amazing. Brenda, she's always been out there, things happen. And so now this is a tool that she can make it happen better and get paid doing it. Identify cause, identify the things that can make you and help you believe. And then if you want to help others, you'll always give off a good spirit. And I'll tell you what, people will respond to that, and you'll get paid for that. Back to you, Laura.
Thanks, Rick. Yeah, kind of like the way Edward put it. He said, you can't hit a home run if you never swing the bat. And that is so true. You gotta, if you tell yourself you can't, you can't. If you tell yourself you can, you can. I'm not going to argue with someone. If that's what you think, then that's what it is. So, that's something else to kind of keep in mind. But, we've all had different challenges and everything with doing this. And obviously we've had our technical challenges for tonight. But hopefully it was still giving you guys, some good information, and just move forward. There's a lot of those self-help books out there too, or self-improvement books. One of the ones I'm almost done reading now is Life is a Series of Presentations. Because it is even if you just come across somebody in the street and say hi, you're actually presenting yourself to them. You're really kind of presenting yourself all the time if you think about it. It's not just when you're up in front of a camera and doing something. So, there's all kinds of tricks to kind of putting your best foot forward. And if you think you can do it, absolutely you can do it. It's just a matter of a mindset and putting your mind to it. So I want to thank you guys for joining us tonight. Or Mariano, did you have anything else to add before we leave tonight?
Yeah, there was just one other thing I wanted to mention to folks, and that is, when you again, we put so much pressure on ourselves to do things perfectly, right? And another thing I want to share with folks is to look at other people that have made it big or made it real successful, or who you consider successful. Whether it's a pastor or whether it's, say, like a Bill Gates or even our CEO in our company. We've seen them do presentations, and, quite honestly, they're not perfect either. And so just looking at how they perform and how they press through whatever adversity or bumps occur, realize that, you don't have to be perfect. You just have to press on with it. And so that's it's one of those things that I mentioned just so that you can understand that it helps you build confidence in yourself and realizing that you don't have to be perfect, and you can be successful just like everybody else. You just got to stay in the game and keep pressing on. So hopefully that'll help you guys, and we're more than willing to help you if you need it. So thanks, Laura.
Yep. So thank you, everybody. Like I said, I have a whole lot of respect for people that work on getting comfortable with being uncomfortable, and I have a whole lot of respect for people that really put their foot out there and try it and keep it real. I don't, I personally don't need the whole, fake or whatever, cold. Just be real with people, be honest with them. I'm all about honest and trust and integrity, and I know our company is. It's one of the things I love. So